Hello, welcome back to Al Talks. Unfortunately, have to start off with bad news. The Irish government has decided not to open up indoor dining, which affects, stand up as well. I think when they've made the decision to, when they do open up, they don't know when, to only allow vaccinated, post someone who's fully vaccinated into the premises. So I don't know if that means that, for example, if say the open mic opens back up, obviously I haven't got any vaccines yet. Does that affect the performers as well, or the staff? I see it's kind of grey area at the moment. So there's a slight delay, unfortunately, on performance. Like I said, I'm not going to get political here on this podcast, but obviously slightly disappointed, but I don't know, what can you do? I think, I don't know, they're pushing it back a couple of weeks, and they're only going to let vaccinate people in, and I don't know. Anyway, it's unfortunate, but keep going. Still got these podcasts to put out, and this week, Iliza Shlesinger went on Joe Rogan's podcast to talk about her new movie called Good on Paper, where it's a real story that happened to her, where she ended up meeting this man on a flight. And they became friends and eventually started dating, but everything he told her turned out to be a lie. He was, he's basically mildly a scam artist in a way. There's some camera readjustment. So essentially, he was a scam artist. Excuse me. And it's come out as a movie now, so I haven't watched it yet. I think it came out yesterday. We'll watch it. We'll report back to you next week what I think about the movie. Margaret Cho was in the movie as well. Margaret Cho, she has a special on Netflix as far as I know. Let me just check here. Pretty sure it's on Netflix because I remember watching it. This is predates when I used to do comedy. Having a look here. Margaret Cho. Pretty sure I remember seeing I'm pretty sure I remember seeing her on Netflix. Apparently not. Or maybe they took it down. I don't know. But yeah, Margaret Cho was... Joan Rivers took her under her wing, in terms of comedy and everything else. And she's... from that, I think I've only seen that one special from what I remember, because this is a very, very long time ago. This was when I used to sit down and just listen to every single special that any comic had on Netflix, and that's what gave me an idea to start doing stand-up. That was, oh god knows, this is probably I don't know. When did I start doing stand up? 2019. So this would have been, I don't know, maybe going back 3, 4, maybe 5 years. This is a very long time ago. But she just captivated me because she did it because Joan Rivers, obviously a huge comic, and she just, in her later years, Joan Rivers never stopped. She just kept going. And Margaret Cho was mentored essentially by Joan Rivers. And there's this one, as Joan Rivers was dying, she was in the hospital, and Margaret Cho was there. And I remember that Joan Rivers said, because I think she was afraid that I think she went for an operation and she passed away. And she said, or she might have come out of the operation and she knew she was going to die. She said, when I go, don't cry for me. And she said, I've had all the success in her life and everything. I said, look, don't cry for me. Just remember me for my comedy in this. And Margaret Cho is in the movie good on paper, And when Iliza Shlesinger was on the Rogan podcast, she was talking about, how when she goes to do stand-up, she can, if she like, for example, she's like, I can see the Joe Rogan fans because they all look like muscular apes or whatever else, and and then she goes, I can see, the Maron fans, like, and Joe was like, why? Because a lot of flannel. And as I've said before, I suppose he's the only comic I've ever seen live. Maron came to Vicar Street while he was working on, he did a world tour, and while he was working on his new stand-up special for Netflix, which came out later on. It's a brilliant special, by the way. But like I said, Mark gets up on stage, and he had an Irish comic open up for him she was brilliant. And Mark sits on the chair when he does stand up, and he got up, and he just sat in the chair and did this, and he went, oh God, what am I doing here? And everyone in the audience laughed, because the reason they laugh so much is because that is 100% Maron. Maron is, what's the word? I think it's pessimist. He just, he is, he's just this, obviously he loves doing what he does, but at the same time he's like, oh God, why? Just kind of, when is this gonna end, sort of thing. And it's it's huge part of his, not exactly because it's personality, but it was just funny when she was mentioning, you see the Marc Maron fans, like, why the flannel? But I see now because I follow the Comedy Store on Instagram, like, Marc Maron is pretty much up every single night at the store now, ever since it's opened up. He's going out big. So hopefully, once the pandemic is over, maybe Ireland will get to have his presence here again, which would be great. Also, on the note of the Joey Diaz, talking about Ireland, the mural. Now, I did a little rough research. I need to do a bit more. That mural may be up in Northern Ireland. The thing about the murals up in Northern Ireland is they tend to change because they paint over them and then keep adding new ones and that. So if that mural has been painted over, unfortunately I won't be able to go and do a vlog there. But we shall have to see. Like, I just really did really rough research. It may not be that one. Maybe it's still around. I don't know. We'll do a little research and figure it out. But that's gonna be pretty much it for this episode. As always, thanks for watching. I have Facebook at Alex the Stand Up, and then Instagram is the same as the channel at altalkspodcast. So check it out there. I post updates mainly on Instagram more now than Facebook, but still, check them out. And I shall see you all next week. Thanks for watching.